Have you ever felt like your life is on pause? Like everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck waiting for a breakthrough, for an answered prayer, for something, anything, to change? You've prayed. You've done everything you know to do. But nothing is changing. And deep down, you wonder, is God even listening? What if I told you that your waiting season isn't punishment, but preparation? That God is not ignoring you, but molding you? That some of the greatest people in the Bible went through long seasons of waiting, only to discover their true purpose in the process? Joseph was 17 when God gave him a dream, a vision that he would be a ruler. But instead of a crown, he got a pit. For 13 years, Joseph waited. But while he was waiting, something was happening. He wasn't just sitting there doing nothing. God was refining him. Before he ruled a nation, he had to learn how to manage a household. Before he wore a royal robe, he had to wear the robe of a prisoner. And then, at the right time, when his character was ready, God lifted him up. He went from the pit to the palace. His waiting wasn't wasted. It was his training ground. Genesis 50:20 says, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." David was chosen by God to be king. He was anointed as a teenager. But do you know what happened next? Nothing. For years, he wasn't in a palace. He was in a pasture, taking care of sheep. Can you imagine? Knowing you are called to be great, but stuck in the ordinary. But in that waiting season, David didn't waste time. He learned to fight lions and bears, and when Goliath showed up, he didn't hesitate. Why? Because his waiting season was actually his training season. Did you also know that he spent years running away from Saul? In these years, he learnt patience, perseverance, humility, importance of godly friendships during difficult times, total dependence on God, and ultimately the power of forgiveness and grace. Had he become king immediately, he wouldn't have been ready. These experiences prepared him for the palace. Psalm 27:14 says, "Wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage, wait for the Lord." Abraham and Sarah were promised a son. But the promise didn't come immediately. They waited, and waited, and waited. At some point, they probably thought, did God forget us? But what they didn't know was that their son, Isaac, wasn't just any child. He was the start of a nation. Sometimes, the longer the wait, the greater the promise. God wasn't just giving them a child, he was fulfilling a plan that would impact generations. Hebrews 6:15 says, "And so, after waiting patiently, Abraham received what was promised." Hannah waited for a child for years, while others, including her rival Peninnah, had children. Despite the delay, she did not give up on God. Hannah was deeply distressed, but instead of turning away from God, she turned to him in prayer. When we face trials, we should take our burdens to God rather than allow bitterness to consume us. It felt unbearable, but in that waiting, her faith deepened. Her prayers became bolder, and when the time was right, she gave birth to Samuel, a prophet who would anoint kings. Hannah asked for one son, but God gave her more children after Samuel. When we surrender our desires to God, he often blesses us beyond what we asked for. And what about you? Could it be that in this waiting season, God is teaching you something, strengthening you, preparing you for what's ahead? Think back to a time in your life when you thought you'd never make it, and yet, here you are. That season passed, and so will this one. That season you thought would break you? It passed. Somehow you made it through. And you know why? Because God never left you. Romans 8:25 says, "But if we hope for what we do not see, we wait for it with patience." Waiting isn't just about time passing, it's about transformation. Like a butterfly inside a cocoon, what feels like delay is actually development. Your waiting season wasn't wasted. It was shaping you, teaching you, preparing you. You learned how to trust God when things didn't make sense, just like Joseph did in prison. You learned that delay is not denial, just like Hannah did before she gave birth to Samuel. So don't give up. The breakthrough you can't see yet, it's already in motion. And when it comes, you won't just be ready for it. You'll be the person who can handle it with wisdom, strength, and faith. Habakkuk 2:3 says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it lingers, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not delay." When God makes you wait, it's not to harm you, but to prepare you for something greater than you can imagine. Psalm 37:7 says, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him." Trust the process. God is working. God is not ignoring you. He's preparing you. Every delay is designed. Every moment is molding you into the person you need to be for the blessing ahead. Don't waste your waiting. Grow in it. Lean into God. Because when his time comes, you won't just get what you prayed for. You'll be the person ready to receive it. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who needs it, because waiting is not wasted when it's in God's hands.